Alright, ladies and gents. I hope you are having a wonderful day and a very good, spooky Halloween. Today I'm gonna use the AKS-7U in Armory. And since it is the spooky season, what better subject to talk about other than gear fear? I will give you some tips and tricks that I use to not necessarily get rid of it, but how to manage yourself on how to deal with it. Today will probably be more of a yapping session and hopefully give you some good practical advice on how to deal with it. So first, let's identify where it actually comes from. It comes from this right here. This is a visual representation of our failure or success. By nature of self-preservation, we breed fear and create emotional attachment to these equipment. Even though a lot of people say it is just a game, it is just a bunch of pixels, which is true, and let's be honest. But since we are investing a lot of time, we did not want to see our effort go to waste. Let's say if you were loaded and you were the Jeff Bezos of Arena Breakout, you would not care about your gear as much. So your focus and goal in game would be different, which we will talk about later. And also technically, I do not think you can really get rid of it, as it is part of the game and the thrill of the game actually. So enough yapping. How do you manage it? Number 1, get friends. Play with random or friends to get some good teammates. Get your mic going and use that sexy voice of yours. The reason why is that they can extract with your equipment and return it back to you if you die. You will not worry as much of losing your gear or dealing with the pain of losing it, as you can recover some of the loss instead of losing all of it. I have asked many times randoms to get my scope back if they can. If you manage to get some regular friends as well, the game will be more fun and your survival rate will increase. As much as there are pro solo players like Imo and Sura FPS, they still play with friends. I know there's this whole thing with loot goblins and such, but you never know. You will meet some very nice people, and what better way to enjoy the game than to have an all-night session with the homies and homettes. Also, in the Arena Breakout mobile version, you can lend equipment. I don't know if Arena Breakout Infinite will add this feature, so start building your community and friends now. Next one is to build your economy and make a safety net. This is also a financial advice for life as well. What I mean by safety net is that you want to build your economy to a certain amount, let's say 2 million. And all the money that you get above 2 million is spending money. You do as you wish with it, but that 2 million in your bank is for emergencies only. Having the 2 mil in your bank helps you mentally to have peace of mind. You are not completely broke yet, but need to work on it. Frustration does not build up, and the stress does not build up, and lead you into a spiral of making your gameplay worse. So if you ever reach this 2 million safety net, you might need to go back to budget builds or doing 0 to hero, for example. Next one is to use gears that is not yours. This is actually a great tip that I use all the time. If you did the scarf run or managed to get some good gear during your budget run, use the same gear to satisfy your armory or lockdown addiction. And if you build this mindset of that equipment was not yours anyways, you will not care too much about losing it. It is an important thought to keep in mind when you play with expensive gear that you obtain in other ways than spending money on it. Also, one extra tip before you use the equipment into a raid: go to your training ground, practice a few moments with it, get used to the equipment beforehand. Next one is to have a goal. My personal goal is to have a very high cash value. So at any point I want to use any expensive gear, I will not care about the cost and just buy it, bowler style. If you have that fancy FAL or that SG16 that you just want to keep there because it looks nice, and you will probably never use it just because it reminds you of how you destroyed that chat that one time, and it will eventually just become clutter in your storage box. So sell it. If your goal is to make as much money as you can, sell it. And since the price of these weapons are so inflated right now, and there is no wipe, if they ever fix the price, you won and making a lot of profit. As the finance bro on Brahead will say, sell high, buy low. Now, if you're a bit like me sometimes, I want to keep a memory of it. Practical way of doing it is to go modify the weapon and save the build. In the mobile version, you will have the option to display a weapon. Maybe they will add it to the PC version as well. So depending on your goal, your mindset should be adapted to what you want to reach as a goal. If you want to collect stuff. If you want to make money and reach a higher storage value, then do everything that you can to reach that goal. Next one is to build confidence. This will take a bit more time, but eventually you will build confidence enough to use expensive gear. I would suggest first to build your knowledge of the map and player's habit. This is another reason why as well it is important to play a squad to learn what people actually do. You will develop your observation haki and be good at predicting all the possible outcome. As much as this game is quite dynamic, players tend to follow habits and keep their ways. The next one is to reduce your time to kill, survival, and optimal setup based on what map you're playing. This one can be quite a debatable subject, but my general rule of thumb when I engage enemy is that how can I give more damage than receiving damage? So I want to shorten my time to kill and be efficient at it. I had many times when I am shooting chads in the back that has T5 armor using level 4 ammo. They have time to turn around and destroy me. And worst feeling is that I needed a few more shots to kill, and because my armor was level 4, I died first. Having better gear could have been the deciding factor in the gunfight, or give you a better margin of error. With lower gear, your margin is significantly reduced. This could also be the reason why you are on a losing streak. And when you accumulate the cost of all the gear that you have been using up to the next win, you might have as well used better gear and maybe could have survived. So there is this balance of trying to use lower gear versus higher gear and survival rate. The general rule of thumb is to bring good ammo, fast guns, and lots of nades. It also depends on what map you're playing. In Valley, for example, if you are going to get one tap by an SG-16 when they're using thermal, might as well bring no armor. So to summarize this point, play in squad so that they can save your gear and hopefully give it back to you. Number 2, building a safety net to reduce the stress of losing gear. Number 3, use gear that you did not pay for and have the mindset that it was not yours anyway. Have a goal. Sell all unused equipment and build that cash flow. Number 5, build confidence as you progress with map awareness and game sense. Number 6, balance your loadout correctly in terms of survival and to reduce your time to kill. General rule of thumb, bring good ammo and lots of nades. Lots of it. So I hope these tips was useful and the yapping was not too PowerPoint like presentation. Go out there, make some money, and have fun. Happy Halloween to all of you. Calamity out. Peace.